In April 1982, Britain dispatched a naval task force 8,000 miles to recover islands seized by Argentina, the largest British naval operation since the Second World War. What follows covers every significant warship that sailed with the Falklands Task Force. HMS Hermes, aircraft carrier. HMS Hermes was the task force flagship, a veteran carrier converted to operate Sea Harriers and helicopters. Commissioned in 1959 and substantially modernized, she embarked the majority of British fixed-wing air power for the campaign. Her age and size made her both the campaign's most valuable asset and its most irreplaceable vulnerability. HMS Invincible, aircraft carrier. HMS Invincible was a newer through-deck cruiser designed around the Sea Harrier, providing the task force its second fixed-wing aviation platform. Lighter and less capable than Hermes, she nonetheless contributed critically to maintaining continuous air defense coverage. Her survival through the campaign was essential to the operation's success. HMS Fearless, amphibious assault ship. HMS Fearless was the primary amphibious command ship, carrying landing craft and serving as the nerve center of the amphibious assault on the Falklands. She coordinated the landings at San Carlos Water on May 21st. Her command facilities and landing capability made her operationally irreplaceable throughout the campaign. HMS Intrepid, amphibious assault ship. HMS Intrepid was Fearless's sister ship, providing additional amphibious lift and landing craft capacity for the ground force insertion. She worked alongside Fearless to deliver the troops, vehicles, and equipment that made the land campaign possible. Her contribution to the San Carlos landings was direct and essential. HMS Sheffield, Type 42 destroyer. HMS Sheffield was the first British warship lost to enemy action since the Second World War, struck by an Exocet missile on May 4th and subsequently sunk. Her loss revealed critical vulnerabilities in the task force's air defense architecture and the limitations of the Type 42's point defense systems. She became the defining symbol of the campaign's human and material cost. HMS Coventry, Type 42 destroyer. HMS Coventry was sunk by Argentine aircraft on May 25th while operating as a radar picket north of the Falklands. She was struck by 3 bombs during a coordinated attack and capsized within 20 minutes. Her loss, alongside Atlantic Conveyor on the same day, represented the campaign's darkest 24 hours.
HMS Glasgow, Type 42 destroyer. HMS Glasgow sustained bomb damage during the San Carlos operations, but survived to continue the campaign. Her experience provided direct evidence of the Argentine bombing threat and the performance of British damage control under combat conditions. She returns to operational duty after emergency repairs conducted at sea.
HMS Exeter, Type 42 destroyer. HMS Exeter was the most successful air defense ship of the campaign, her Sea Dart missiles destroying several Argentine aircraft during the conflict. Her fire control team demonstrated the effectiveness of the Sea Dart system when properly employed against the threat it was designed to engage. She emerged from the campaign with an operational record that partially rehabilitated the Type 42's damaged reputation. HMS Cardiff, Type 42 destroyer. HMS Cardiff arrived with the reinforcement group and contributed to air defense operations in the final phase of the campaign. She claimed air defense kills during the closing stages of the conflict and participated in the naval operations that supported the final ground defensive. Her late arrival meant she operated in the campaign's most intense final period. HMS Antelope, Type 21 frigate. HMS Antelope was struck by 2 Argentine bombs during the San Carlos operations, one of which detonated while being defused, killing the bomb disposal expert attempting to neutralize it. She burned through the night and exploded the following morning, her destruction photographed in images that became among the most recognizable of the campaign. She represents the particular courage demanded of those who attempted to render safe weapons that had already penetrated British ships. HMS Ardent, Type 21 frigate. HMS Ardent was the most heavily attacked British ship of the campaign, sustaining multiple bomb hits during the San Carlos landings while providing gunfire support to the beachhead. She absorbed strike after strike before the damage became unsurvivable and she was abandoned and sunk. Her crew's determination to maintain fire support under sustained attack earned the highest recognition. HMS Arrow, Type 21 frigate. HMS Arrow provided naval gunfire support throughout the campaign and sustained damage during the San Carlos operations without being lost. She served consistently in the demanding inshore gunfire support role, engaging Argentine positions in direct support of ground forces. Her endurance through repeated combat operations demonstrated the resilience of her class. HMS Alacrity, Type 21 frigate. HMS Alacrity sank the Argentine supply vessel Isla de los Estados in Falkland Sound, demonstrating that British surface forces could conduct aggressive offensive operations in the confined waters around the islands. She served in the gunfire support and patrol roles throughout the campaign. Her offensive action in Falkland Sound was one of the few British surface-to-surface engagements of the conflict. HMS Ambuscade, Type 21 frigate. HMS Ambuscade served with the task force in the anti-submarine and escort roles throughout the campaign. She contributed to the protective screen around the carriers and amphibious vessels during the critical phase of operations. Her consistent operational service supported the broader task force effort without the dramatic incidents that marked other vessels. HMS Active, Type 21 frigate. HMS Active served in the South Atlantic, providing escort and patrol duties during the campaign. She contributed to the surface and anti-submarine screen, protecting the amphibious group and logistics vessels. Her service was consistent with the operational demands placed on the Type 22 class throughout the conflict. HMS Broadsword, Type 22 frigate. HMS Broadsword was paired with HMS Coventry as a Type 42, Type 22 combination intended to provide mutually supporting air defense. When Coventry was attacked, Broadsword attempted to provide close-in defense but was struck by a bomb that passed through her flight deck without detonating. She survived and continued operations, her experience directly informing subsequent British air defense doctrine. HMS Brilliant, Type 22 frigate. HMS Brilliant's Seawolf close-in defense system destroyed several Argentine aircraft during the campaign, providing the most effective point defense performance of any British ship in the conflict. Her operational record demonstrated the Seawolf's genuine capability against low-level attacking aircraft. She served consistently throughout the campaign in the carrier escort and air defense roles. HMS Battleaxe, Type 22 frigate. HMS Battleaxe served with the task force in the South Atlantic, contributing to the anti-submarine and escort mission throughout the campaign. She operated as part of the defensive screen, protecting the most valuable assets of the task force. Her service was consistent with the operational demands placed on the Type 22 class throughout the conflict.
HMS Yarmouth, Type 12 frigate. HMS Yarmouth was one of the older frigates in the task force, serving in the anti-submarine and gunfire support roles throughout the campaign. She provided naval gunfire support to ground forces and contributed to the patrol and escort mission in Falkland Sound. Her sustained operational service demonstrated the continued utility of older vessels in a modern naval campaign. HMS Plymouth, Type 12 frigate. HMS Plymouth was struck by 4 bombs during the campaign, none of which detonated, but she also sustained rocket damage that caused fires requiring emergency damage control. She survived and continued operating, her experience providing further evidence of Argentine bombing effectiveness when fuses functioned correctly.
Her survival, despite multiple hits, reflected both good fortune and effective damage control. HMS Antrim, County-class destroyer. HMS Antrim played a key role in the retaking of South Georgia, her Sea Slug missiles and guns contributing to the initial operations that began the campaign's recovery phase. She was struck by an exocet that failed to detonate during the main campaign and survived. Her participation across both phases of the operation gave her one of the most varied operational records of the conflict. HMS Glamorgan, County-class destroyer. HMS Glamorgan was struck by a land-launched exocet in the final days of the campaign, the missile impacting her hangar and causing fires that killed members of her crew. She survived and remained operational, a testament to damage control and the ship's structural resilience. Her survival from a missile that had already sunk HMS Sheffield demonstrated the variable nature of combat damage outcomes. HMS Conqueror, nuclear submarine. HMS Conqueror sank the Argentine cruiser General Belgrano on May 2nd, the first combat sinking by a nuclear-powered submarine in history. The sinking effectively ended Argentine surface naval operations for the remainder of the campaign. Her action remains the most strategically significant single naval engagement of the conflict. HMS Spartan, nuclear submarine. HMS Spartan was among the first British vessels to arrive in the total exclusion zone, conducting intelligence gathering and deterrence operations before the main task force arrived. Her early presence established British submarine superiority in the operational area and shaped Argentine naval decision-making from the campaign's outset. She served throughout the conflict in the patrol and intelligence role. HMS Splendid, nuclear submarine. HMS Splendid operated in the South Atlantic in the patrol and interdiction role alongside Conqueror and Spartan. Her presence contributed to the submarine barrier that effectively neutralized the Argentine surface fleet after the Belgrano sinking. She served continuously through the campaign as part of the submarine force that dominated the underwater environment around the islands. HMS Onyx, conventional submarine. HMS Onyx was the only conventional submarine deployed to the Falklands, conducting special operations and intelligence missions that nuclear submarines were less suited to performing in shallow coastal waters. She inserted and recovered special forces in operations around the islands. Her quiet diesel-electric propulsion gave her advantages in the shallow inshore environment where nuclear submarines were less operationally comfortable. Atlantic Conveyor, requisitioned container ship. The Atlantic Conveyor was a civilian container ship requisitioned and converted to carry helicopters and Harrier aircraft to the South Atlantic. She was struck by 2 Exocet missiles on May 25th and sank, taking with her the heavy lift helicopters that had been intended to move troops and equipment across the islands. Her loss fundamentally altered the logistics of the land campaign and forced British forces to conduct their advance on foot. SS Canberra, troop ship. The liner SS Canberra was requisitioned and converted to serve as the primary troop transport for the task force, carrying thousands of soldiers and Marines south to the Falklands. Her white hull and distinctive profile made her one of the most recognizable vessels of the campaign. She operated in San Carlos water during the landings in a role that exposed a large troop ship to the same air threat that was sinking warships. RFA Sir Galahad, landing ship logistic. RFA Sir Galahad was struck by Argentine aircraft at Fitzroy on June 8th while still carrying Welsh guards who had not yet disembarked in one of the campaign's most tragic losses. The resulting fire and explosion killed 48 men and injured many more. Her loss in circumstances that might have been avoided became one of the most sobering lessons of the entire campaign. RFA Sir Tristram, landing ship logistic. RFA Sir Tristram was attacked alongside Sir Galahad at Fitzroy, sustaining serious damage that put her out of action for the remainder of the campaign. She was subsequently repaired and returned to service. The attack on both ships at Fitzroy represented the single most costly day of the land campaign for British forces. The Falklands cost Britain ships, crews, and hard lessons that reshaped naval doctrine for decades. What the task force achieved, 8,000 miles from home, with no bases and no allies, remains one of the most demanding naval feats of the post-war era.